5 habits which keep you broke as a dropshipper. Most dropshippers who start out have no clue what they're doing. And after seeing hundreds of people who start out and have no idea what they're doing and actually get to a point where they do know what they're doing, actually start making money, I've noticed which things prevent them from getting to their goals. So let's start with number 1. Most beginners have no clue how to set goals the right way. They think they just need to envision a number and think, all right, I wanna make $25,000 in profit every month in the next half a year. That's their goal and that's where they want to get to. And then they start doing like some kind of bullshit breakdown of like, okay, $25,000 per month means $100,000 in sales, which means X amount of orders with a $100 average order value, whatever they're thinking about. They just do this calculation, but they're basing everything on the wrong premise. And the right thing which you should do here, instead of all of this, is having goals dependent on your actions. So your goal is, I want to find X amount of products which fit X amount of criteria in the next 5 hours. I want to make 10 videos which look at least as good as the videos which my competitor is throwing out there. All of those things are very, very, very specific goals which are only based on you. There's no other external bullshit which will come into this, because your goals should be based around your actions and not numbers. This is crucial, and it's also totally fine to say, all right, I want to get to like 25K profit per month in the next 6 months. That's a thing which you can say to yourself, that's cool, and it's going to be your goal. If you exceed it or going to be below it, whatever, it doesn't matter. The thing which matters here way, way more is putting in very, very specific goals to your actions. Also, the other thing you need to keep in mind is all of this is based around skills. You want to get the skill of finding good products and making good ads. Those are the 2 skills you need to be successful as a dropshipper. There's tons of other things which you're gonna need, but those are gonna be the fundamentals and the most important things. So being able to produce a very, very good video is a very tangible goal, and this is what you should be working on. And the money which you're gonna make is the byproduct of those skills. If you have those skills down, money will come no matter what. The next thing is not having urgency. Most people are not uncomfortable enough to actually get shit done. Every action they ever took in their life was out of a position of them being desperate and needing something. Versus you already have everything, you're good, and still you do the things. And this is a very, very big change, because if you have a job, which is okay, you don't really need to do dropshipping at all. And you're constantly gonna postpone it because you're gonna think, all right, today I have to talk to my wife, tomorrow I have to be with my kids, the day after I have to do this, I have to do that. And you basically find all those reasons why to not do this, when in reality, if you truly think about it, you have hours and hours per day which you're watching TV, which you're on Instagram, which you're on TikTok, which you're wasting your time on. The easiest thing to do here is just doing everything in the morning. Honestly, I've seen this is by far the easiest thing out of everything. If you want to make dropshipping your priority, just wake up a few hours before your job and do everything in the morning, get everything done, and then later on you can go to sleep a bit earlier. And those last couple of hours which you would have in the day, they don't matter. Everything which you do after 10 p.m. is, in like 95% of the cases, complete bullshit. So it doesn't matter. So if you have a full-time job and you see that you just don't get out of the cycle of getting shit done because you have something constantly coming up after the work and you just feel like you don't have the time for this, just do it in the morning. And also here again, don't bullshit yourself and pretend like you're doing shit in the morning when in reality you're not doing anything. Because if you will take a few hours per day on tasks which don't matter, it doesn't count. Don't count tasks which you did into your productive time just because you did them. You need to count things which are productive into your productive time and nothing else. The next thing is not planning your day. I would argue that this is probably the most important part about your entire dropshipping business. If you don't know how to plan your day, and if you don't plan your day at all, you will not get shit done. As simple as that. I see it with myself constantly over and over again. If I don't plan my day, I don't get shit done. And the main thing here is you should never be in a position where you try to find a new task. This should already be done in the very first part of the day, in the morning, and also in the evening before. You need to write down the top 3 things which you need to do the next day. And then in the morning, you need to plan everything out, minute by minute. Literally, in windows of 15 minutes to 1 hour, you need to have like a full calendar blocked when you need to do this, then this, then this. And you also have to estimate how long it's gonna take. All of those things I actually cover in another video. You should definitely check it out. It's basically a video which is just gonna outline the exact exact calendar structure which we're using to become 3 times more productive than anybody else. This is one of those things where if you actually start doing this for like a month straight, you're just not gonna stop because you're gonna see how insanely impactful this is. Number 4 is focusing on problems which are not your problems. Most of your problems that you think are real are complete bullshit. You're focusing on things which are completely irrelevant to your situation. And this is very important. If you right now are just starting out, you're gonna start worrying about Facebook blocks, about TikTok shadow bans, about all of those supplier issues, about PayPal holding your money, about all of those things. And you're gonna be overwhelmed and you're gonna think, you know what, I should probably not start doing dropshipping. Actually, if I really think about it, all of those problems are just too much, not gonna be able to handle them, let's not do it. This is totally fine, however, not for you. It's gonna be amazing for every other person in the dropshipping community because they're gonna have less competition, but for you personally, it's gonna be a terrible decision. The actual thing you need to do is just focusing on only the problem which lays ahead. What is your problem right now? You don't have a winning product. All right, let's break this down. What do I need to do to find a winning product? Great question. First of all, find out what the criteria are of a winning product. Then find a method on how to search for products which fit those criteria. Make a list of all the products, find one which fits every single criteria. Make an amazing ad for it, make a good store for it, run a strategy which actually is going to be good, so either Facebook or TikTok or whatever. Do that strategy until it works without changing anything up, and also learn how to analyze the data. You need to understand when to kill a product, when to scale a product, when to move on from a product, when to test new creatives, what to split test, etc. Those things are actually going to be very relevant. However, again, it's going to be step by step by step by step. This is basically what my program covers, and those are the fundamentals. However, if you would think about problems which are just laying ahead, you're going to get caught up in doing complete bullshit. If you would do the calendar structure properly and then see what you've done last week, if you would focus on problems which you don't even have, you would be shocked on what kind of wasted time you actually had there. The last thing, and this one's also huge, is actually committing to dropshipping. Because most people are switching from business model to business model to business model, or they're just looking at dropshipping videos and they're watching videos, they know they should do it, but actually never get started. And the reason for that is they never actually commit. There's never any mental or even physical commitment to doing this. Because the number one thing you need to understand, the more time you put into this in terms of doing things, not researching, the more likely you are gonna do this. There's basically 3 different forms of commitment. Number 1 is time. It's basically the more time you actually put into this, the more you are committed to doing more of this. Number 2 is seeing results. If you test something and it does work, it's instantly gonna commit you more because you're gonna see, damn, this actually has potential to make it work. This actually is something which, if I figure out how to do all of those different things which I have no clue about right now, then I will actually start making a lot of money. And every time you have some kind of success, you're going to be more committed to this. Money. The more money you invest into dropshipping, the more committed you are to keep going. If you already tested 25 products without any success, the chances of you testing a 26th is much higher just because you want to recoup that money. And unfortunately, this is sometimes done the wrong way, and you just keep testing and testing and testing, and it's almost like playing casino where you just throw in money because you already lost everything and you're just coping. However, this is only bad because you don't know how to analyze the numbers you're actually getting. You're testing something and it doesn't work, and you just keep testing and testing and testing and testing, just the same way as you did before because you think you have the right strategy when most likely you're just doing the wrong thing. Dropshipping is just 2 things. Number 1, finding an amazing strategy. Number 2, applying it until it works. It's as simple as that. But most people either never actually test products and they never get to it, or if they do test products, they test them with a terrible strategy. That's the reason why they don't make it work. Or they test it and it doesn't work for the first time and it was an amazing strategy, but they just move on to the next strategy because it seemed like it didn't work from the try 1. When in reality, if they just kept going a little bit longer, they would have actually made it work. So this is also one of the biggest reasons why I do this mentoring program like I do it. Number 1, you're gonna be committed because you're gonna pay me money for that program already. Number 2 is you're gonna actually have the right strategy. And number 3 is you're gonna have people inside of my program which are gonna be looking over the things you do, and we make sure that you actually apply and execute the things properly. If you're interested in that, click the link below, sign up for a call with me personally. We're gonna find out if it's a good fit. If yes, we're gonna start working together, and if no, then not.